Hello viewers, so today we'll talk about Terraform and Ansible. We'll see what is Terraform, what is Ansible. We'll also see the difference between Terraform and Ansible. We'll also see when to use Ansible and when to use Terraform. What is the best use of Terraform and what is the best use of Ansible. So let's get started. So Ansible is the most significant way to automate and configure apps and IT infrastructure. Ansible is an open source configuration management tool mainly designed for provisioning and deploying applications using infrastructure as a code. It has its own language to describe system configuration. Ansible is agentless, making it manage large deployments across enterprise using Windows PowerShell or SSH to perform its task. Ansible is not completely declarative. It is a hybrid of procedural and declarative. It can integrate with Amazon EC2, Docker, Kubernetes, etc. Companies like Zalando, Revolt, and 9gaga are using Ansible. Now, what are the features of Ansible? So Ansible is used for configuration management and follows a procedural approach. Ansible deals with infrastructure platforms such as bare metal, cloud networks, and virtualized devices like hypervisor. Ansible follows idempotent behavior that makes it to place node in the same state every time. It is it uses infrastructure as a code system configuration across the infrastructure. It offers rapid and easy deployment of multi-tier apps with being agentless. Ansible, if the code is interpreted, it allows entering the code again without any conflict over invocation. Now let's look at what is Terraform. Terraform deals with infrastructure automation. Its current declarative model lacks some features which arise complexity. Using Terraform, the elements of required environments are separately described, including the relationship. It accesses the model, creates a plan based on dependencies, and gives optimized commands to infrastructure as a service. If there is no change in the environments or strategy, repeated runs will do nothing. If there is any update in the plan or environment, it will synchronize the cloud around infrastructure. It will synchronize the cloud infrastructure. Now, what are the features of Terraform? As we have discussed the working of Terraform, now we'll look at the features of Terraform. Terraform follows a declarative approach which makes deployment fast and easy. It is a convenient tool to display resulting model in graphical form. Terraform also manages external service providers such as cloud networks and in-house solutions. It is one of the rare tools to offer building infrastructure from scratch, whether public, private, or multi-cloud. Terraform helps to manage parallel environments, making it a good choice for testing, validating bug fixes, and formal acceptance. Terraform and modular codebase helps in achieving consistency, reusability, and collaboration. Terraform can manage multiple clouds to increase fault tolerance. So Terraform comes with good scheduling capabilities and is user-friendly. It integrates with Docker well, as Docker handles the configuration management slightly better than Terraform, but there is no clear evidence of how the targeted devices are brought to their final state, and sometimes the final configuration is unnecessary. Ansible comes with better security with ACL functionality. It is considered a mature tool because it adjusts comfortably with traditional automation frameworks. It offers simple operation and helps to code quickly, but on the other hand, it is not good at services like logical dependencies, orchestration service, and interconnected applications. Now let's compare the Ansible and Terraform on some factors. The first factor is code. So Ansible is open source and Terraform is also open source. Ansible syntax is YML and Terraform SCL. In terms of architecture, Ansible is client only and Terraform is also client only. For execution control, Ansible is no, any computer can be controlled, and Terraform, yes, it can, execution control is there. Ansible and Terraform both are supported by all the cloud vendors. Uh, and type is Ansible is configuration management tool and Terraform is an orchestration tool. Infrastructure, Ansible provides support for multiple mutable infrastructure. Terraform provides support for immutable infrastructure. Ansible follows procedural language, whereas Terraform follows a declarative language. Ansible provides partial VM provisioning, networking, and storage management, whereas Terraform it provides comprehensive VM provisioning, networking, and storage management. Ansible provides complete support for packaging and templating. Terraform provides partial support for packaging and templating. Ansible it does not have any lifecycle management, whereas Terraform it has dependent on lifecycle or state management. Uh, For master slave concept, Ansible is masterless. Some other tools like Ceph, Puppet, and requires the master to store the change and distribute the updates, but there is disadvantage such as extra security and infrastructure maintenance with incurred cost. Terraform is also masterless. It communicates with the cloud provider using API. They don't require any extra infrastructure authentication mechanism. So, which is better infrastructure as a tool? infrastructure as a code tool. So a business should choose between Terraform and Ansible based on their exact needs and existing infrastructure. With Terraform being built on declarative approach, it works best for maintaining a steady state within your infrastructure without much intervention. This also holds true for binding an infrastructure from scratch and getting up to a specific state. Ansible procedural approach is for those who needs to manage and configure their infrastructure in ways that it sees it evolving and changing over time. Things such as adding software or updates in an already configured environment is where Ansible excels over Terraform. So Terraform is orchestration tool, whereas Ansible is configuration management tool. Syntax-wise, Terraform supports HCL and Ansible supports YML. Ansible is procedural language, whereas Terraform is declarative. Default approach for Terraform is mutable infrastructure, whereas Ansible is immutable infrastructure. Terraform does support lifecycle management, whereas Ansible does not support. In terms of capabilities, Terraform helps to provision and configuration, whereas Ansible helps in provisioning and configuration. Both Terraform and Ansible are agentless. So Terraform covers most AWS resources and parts, and it's comparatively faster in supporting new AWS feature. CloudFormation, it covers major AWS parts, but slow in supporting new AWS capabilities. Um, So this is a comparison between Terraform and CloudFormation. It is open source project, whereas CloudFormation is offered by AWS for free. Hasik Corp offers 24/7 support for Terraform, whereas CloudFormation for CloudFormation AWS support plan that offers CloudFormation support. Terraform, it stores the state over disk and allows using remote state. Whereas CloudFormation stores and manages the state with the use of stack. Terraform offers complete native support for modules, whereas CloudFormation, it does not support the use of module but has feature to modularize templates. Terraform uses a command plan for identifying need changes, whereas CloudFormation, it uses changes set to verify the required or implement changes. So similarities between Ansible and Terraform is given the features for both technologies. Terraform and Ansible appears to be extremely similar tool that at a high level. They both are capable of setting up the new cloud infrastructure and equipping it with the necessary application components. On the freshly formed virtual machine, remote commands can be carried out by both Terraform and Ansible. This indicates that neither tool required an agent. Agent deployment on the computer is not necessary for operational reasons. Terraform builds infrastructure utilizing the API of cloud providers, and SSH is used for simple configuration operation. The same is true for Ansible. All necessary configuration activities are carried out over SSH. Both tools are masterless since state information for neither requires a separate piece of infrastructure to manage. So Ansible and Terraform both is used in the development phase. Ansible install middleware and application, and Terraform provision load balancer VM skills set using the managed disk. So Terraform is a provisioning tool, whereas Ansible is a configuration management tool. Terraform follows declarative infrastructure as a code approach, whereas Ansible, it follows a procedural approach. Terraform is the best suited for orchestration, cloud service, and set up cloud infrastructure from scratch, whereas Ansible, it mainly used for configuration service with the right software and updates already configured resources. Terraform does not support bare metal provisioning by default, whereas Ansible supports provision of bare metal service as well. Ansible, it provides full support for packaging and templating, whereas Terraform, it does not provide better support in terms of packaging and templating. Terraform is highly dependent on the lifecycle or state management, whereas Ansible, it does not have any lifecycle management at all. So how does Ansible work? Ansible is agentless and does not run on the target node. It makes connection using SSH or other authentication tool. It installs various Python modules on the target using JSON. The modules are simple instructions that run on the target. These modules are executed and removed once their job is done. This strategy ensures that there is no misuse of resources on target. Python is mandatory to install on both the controlling and the target nodes. So you can see here Ansible has using playbook. You can manage the different hosts through SSH connections. Now let's look at how the Terraform works. Terraform file extension is .tf. Terraform is declarative in nature. It directly describes the end state of the system without defining how it will be done. It works at a high level of abstraction to describe what service and resources should be created and defined. Terraform code takes two input sources to do its job. The first input source is Terraform configuration that is configured by its user. Users define what needs to be provisioned and created. The second input source is a state that holds information about the infrastructure. So using various Terraform files, you can provision uh, the different VMs on different clouds. So in summary, we can say Terraform excels as a cloud infrastructure provisioning and deprovisioning tool with the infrastructure as code approach. It is a specific tool with a specific purpose. Ansible offers an all-purpose cross-domain automation solution. Both have active open source communities and well-supported downstream commercial products. Both solutions have their individual strength, and when combined, they work well together and create efficiency. For many business, simply put, choosing an automation tool is not always an either-or choice. Many times it is, and like both Ansible and Terraform can be used together. Ansible versus Terraform battle continues to escalate as the DevOps environment focuses more on the automation and orchestration. These two tools helps in automating configuration and deployment infrastructure. Terraform offers a deploy infrastructure as a code, helps in reliability and lifts and shifts deployment. Ansible is a configuration management tool for automating system configuration and management.